Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. It's your girl, Cheree, and I am officially back to talk today about short term rentals. How can you get funding for short term rentals? First of all, I'm Cheree, I'm your favorite lender, and Simply Funded has a new phone number. The old one still works, but if you're looking to call or text us, it's 571 583 4600. 571 583 4600. We are also expanding as well because we have new team members who I'm training right now with regards to providing you an even better service. So let's talk about servicing and getting you funding for short-term rentals. So first of all, what is a short-term rental? It's very simple. Short-term rentals are any place that you rent that you will rent for less than 30 days, right? So Airbnb, Vacasa, other places like that are very well-known short-term rental platforms. But in order for you to get into the game, you may need to get a loan because you may not be able to afford or may not want to put all of that cash into one property. Well, yes, there are lenders who will give you money based on your short term rental expected revenues. One thing I should tell you about short term rentals and getting funding for these kinds of loans is it does depend on where the property is located, what lenders you're going to be able to present this to and get accepted. So I always separate things between city, suburbs, and rural. If you have a property that's in a city or a suburb, as long as there are no um, um, issues with the law or with an HOA regarding that, you will have more options than if you are getting a short term rental in a rural area. But I know, first of all, the king of short term rentals within our network is a guy named Aaron Kavanaugh, and he is great. And he does a lot of short term rentals and maximizing profits in areas that are like mountainous or by hiking trails or things like that. Um, so, how do you get money for a short term rental? So, the first thing is I have a lender who will go down as low as a 620 credit score. So, you don't have that perfect credit. I will say, though, that if you have better credit, the better credit you have, the better the terms will be. But if you don't have such great credit, don't worry about it. You can still get a short term rental loan. The second thing is how much do you have to put down? Well, I will tell you now that you're going to put down anywhere from 15% to 35%. This is what I've actually seen, what I've actually closed. I will tell you it's probably a lot more, 20 to 35%. So, what's the difference? Well, the difference is where the property is located, number one, and your credit profile, number two. Now, one of the great things about these short term rental loans is they don't care if you're unemployed, they don't care if you're self employed, as long as you have decent credit. They don't care if you owe money for a car note or credit cards or anything like that. They don't look at the mix of credit. They just need to see a decent credit score. So, okay, great. So that's where your terms come from with regards to how much money you have to put down. You may say, Cherie, well, what are the rates right now for these? It's not going to be the same as conventional if you were purchasing in your own name for your own primary residence. Usually, these short term rental loans are about a half a point to, I've even seen a point and a half higher than your current mortgages. So right now, if your mortgages are running anywhere between 6 and 7%, your short-term rental loans are going to be 7 to 8, 8.5% interest. And you may say, yikes, Cherie, oh my goodness, the rates are so high. The rates are too high. The truth is, if you maximize your profit for the short-term rentals that you're purchasing, I've seen people make great profits with even a 10% interest rate. So it really is about the type of property that you are purchasing. Another question you may ask is how long will it take for you to close? I would say give us about 30 days for closing. You still have to have appraisal. You still have to have title checked, things like that, just like if you were buying any kind of other investment property. Um, let's see here. The final things to note are that you do have to close in an LLC or a corporation. The lenders that I have that do short term rental loans all require you to close in an LLC or some sort of an entity, an S Corp, C Corp, something like that. So you will need your entity or corporation documents in order to be able to close that entity. If you don't have everything, don't worry about it. Just contact us 571-583-4600, and we'll make sure to give you the list of things that you need to start gathering for your short-term rental loans. The final thing that I will tell you, actually I have two more things. When the short term rental lending companies are looking at your application and they're calculating your income versus the mortgage, um, they are going to look to make sure that for every dollar that you are expected to pay in the mortgage, you're going to have a dollar of rental income coming in. However, if the property does not show that that you expect at least 50% occupancy, 50, there will need to be some exceptions that are made. You may need to put down a little bit more cash in order to get that loan. So I'm just letting everybody know now that they will look at not only your expected revenues, but also the expected occupancy as well. And then the final thing that I wanted to tell you, am I drawing a blank now? I already talked to you about closing in an entity. We talked about the 50% occupancy, and I think I'm drawing a blank for the final thing. But definitely reach out to us with regards to the short term rental loans. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Now I remember. The final thing that I want to tell you is if you don't have a one-to-one relationship with regards to for every dollar you are paying in a mortgage, you expect a dollar in rental income, and you still want to buy that property, there are ways for you to do it if you have a 700 plus credit score where they will still give you the loan. And the final thing is if you have a self-directed IRA, and your self-directed IRA requires you to have a non-recourse loan. Non-recourse loan, just fancy term for if for whatever reason you default on the loan, they will not come after your 401k or any other assets that you have in order to get all of their money back. That's a non-recourse loan. And some self-directed IRAs do require you have a non-recourse loan. If you're required to have a non-recourse loan, then I have a lender. I have a lender for you that does non-recourse loans because the supermajority of lenders have recourse loans. So just something to keep in mind. So again, call text 571-583-4600. If we can be of service to you, we'd love an opportunity to support you, whether you're buying a primary residence, vacation home, or an investment property. Thanks so much. Have a blessed day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.